On Par with Paul, Tuesdays at 4, only on Local 3 News.
It's always a good day when we can say go Mocs, and that's what we're going to say this morning. This is Dr. Kathleen Wheatley. She is the Associate Dean of the Business School at UTC, and welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me.
You wore the appropriate colors.
I tried.
So, you and I were comparing notes a little bit before we got on the air about how long each of us has been in Chattanooga. And we've both been here almost the same length of time, 20 plus years.
That's right.
In those years, you've really watched, I think, the growth of UTC unfold before our eyes. And there is such, I think, community pride in the business school. It is really stellar, the program that you have.
Well, thank you. Thank you. We've worked hard to get it where it is. And we're grateful for all the community support that we have.
So I want to talk to you a little bit about the college itself, the business school, because it was endowed quite heavily from what I remember.
It was,
when
yes.
it opened. And that's for a very good reason, because you want your students who are coming into it to have the resources they need to really be equipped to make that degree work for them.
Absolutely, absolutely. So we received our first donation from Gary W. Rollins and was able to implement research centers and more hands-on learning for our students, and also renovate our current Fletcher Hall to give students an updated technology and lab experience right within our college. And looking forward to the future, we broke ground after a second gift from Gary W. Rollins. So we broke ground a few months ago on an addition to our building. So it's exciting to see that come to fruition and how that's really going to change the experience.
You know, we live in a world now where so many people young people especially, are finding that they have kind of a keen business mind. Entrepreneurship is growing. I think y'all embrace that.
Yes,
at the
we
college.
do. We do. For our undergraduate programs, we have all of our traditional bachelors of science in business administration, from accounting to management to marketing, and we also have an entrepreneurship major.
Okay, so the undergraduate part of it is one side, and I
Absolutely.
will say to anybody out there who's crying a bit because your seniors graduating from high school and it's hard to let them go, maybe they haven't decided quite where they want to go, you can register at UTC, at least to enroll in classes,
Sure.
pretty late. And then the networking abilities you have by being in town are fantastic.
Yes, absolutely, and you can't go wrong with a business degree.
Yes, but a lot of people too are now turning to you for a graduate degree.
Absolutely.
In business. So if you want to pursue that, if you were the undergrad student who maybe was a political science major,
Sure.
you can still switch over and apply for the business.
Absolutely. Let me share a few of our programs. One of our newest program is our Master of Accountancy with a concentration in our executive program. And that program was specifically designed for a non-accounting major to enter into the accounting field. And what we're seeing is a tremendous need for accounting professionals. So if you've ever thought, maybe accounting might be a place for me, thinking about changing careers, that Master of Accountancy might be just the thing.
Yeah.
Also, our traditional MBA is built for non-business undergrads. Now, certainly business undergrads can come into the program, but we're welcome to have engineering majors, English majors, psychology majors. That's exactly what that traditional MBA was built for.
So as the associate dean and your whole team that you work with every day, is part of what y'all are looking for is to see how the landscape in business changes so that you're offering the right programs for the future?
Yes, absolutely. And I'll say, our undergraduate, very traditional. But when we think about those graduate programs, we really need to be changing with the times. So we've created 2 additional programs. We've got a Master's of Science in Management, which provides professionals to really dig deeper into those leadership and soft skills. And then we've got the Masters of Science in Data Analytics. And don't let data analytics scare you, because that program is also designed for anybody to enter into. And data is such a driving factor in business today. So you've got to understand how to use that data to make better business decisions. And that's a part of that Masters of Science in Data Analytics.
So I will tell you something that you don't know yet, but I'm a parent of 2 daughters, both of whom will end up being UTC grads.
All right,
my
go
older
Mocs.
one did, my younger one is there now. But it's interesting to me to watch the transformation that happens, I think for most young people, 18 to 22, and with a graduate degree, now you're looking 25, 26. And what you think you want to do with your life and what you choose to do usually changes.
Absolutely. I have an undergraduate degree in engineering. And now look at me.
And now here you are. I love to name drop a little bit. So let me just say that you're a Syracuse grad.
Yeah.
You came to Chattanooga in 2001 for the job at UTC, fell in love with it. But the faculty and the administration there at UTC, you just have a new chancellor named.
Yep.
You're pulling from the best.
Yeah. We've got wonderful faculty who are really engaged with the student learning process. We are really application based, so everything we do is to really give our students the best education with technical expertise and that professional development to be able to launch them into their first career or second career, depending on undergraduate or graduate students. So we are truly engaged with our students and want them to be successful.
So with the application process, undergrad is pretty self-explanatory. They can't promise housing to you, but you can at least go ahead and get that application in if you're not quite sure what your plans are for the fall. On the graduate side of things, it's a little bit more lengthy probably, or can you still apply for the fall?
No, actually the graduate is still is maybe a little bit easier.
Okay.
All of that information is on our website, and go ahead and apply. And all of our programs operate on kind of a rolling admission.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
there's still time.
It's never too late. UTC.edu. You'll be saying go Mocs as well.
Yes.
Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Susan, and I lost 27 pounds with Bragg weight loss in 40 days. I've maintained the weight for over a year and a half. I went from size 16 to a size 6. I'm no longer on blood pressure medication, and I feel fantastic.
I'm C-Mark.
I'm John Mark.
Never text and drive.
And always wear your seatbelt.
If you've been involved in a wreck on the interstate, give us a call.
We may have the video footage from our exclusive crash camera network.
That crash camera will add value to your case. More cha-ching.
Take a look at our website. Check it out.
265-HURT.
That's 265-4878. We are your local law firm.
.58 Foundations and Waterproofing, the only company that's been encapsulating crawl spaces, waterproofing basements, and repairing foundations since 1958. That means experience. That also means you can be confident your home is in good hands. And if that wasn't enough, here's this. 58 Foundations and Waterproofing offers the industry's only money-back guarantee. That's right, experience and trust. Who else can offer that? 58 Foundations and Waterproofing. Schedule your free inspection today.
I got hurt by a big truck. You know why I called the Insiders?
Because life-changing injuries deserve life-changing money. And we're going to get it for you.
We got a client that suffered a head injury from a truck wreck, $650,000.
Another client of ours was T-boned by a big truck and broke multiple bones. We got them $3 million.
If you get hurt by a big truck, call the Insiders. It's just that easy.
Hurt by a commercial truck? Call the Insiders. Call 265-1100.
Hello, Dr. Bragg with Bragg Weight Loss. Those of you that have been struggling with weight all your lives, don't beat yourself up. It's not your fault. It's hormones, hormones, hormones. You live in fat storage hormone dominance. We can correct that.
We're going to tug on those mother heartstrings as we begin the conversation this morning. We're talking about special kids therapy. If you've heard of it, then you know. If you have not heard of it, you're going to be very impressed. We're very happy to have Carrie Goodwin. She is the founder of Special Kids Therapy. Debbie Bryce next to her has the great pleasure, she would say, of helping them with development. So nice to see you both.
Thank you for having us.
The name kind of says it all, except that the special is that every child is special, right, Carrie?
It is. Every child is special. We're so excited to be coming to Chattanooga. We're already in Murfreesboro, Tennessee for 26 years. And we are just thrilled to be finally coming to the Chattanooga community. I went to nursing school here, grew up here, and just back home to bring it here to Chattanooga.
So what she has brought to Chattanooga, and I'm going to let her be more eloquent in the description, but basically children, infant through 21,
right,
are able to come to you. You have this new location on Shallowford Road now,
right,
where you have kind of an arsenal of therapists who meet them with the need that they present with.
Right, just meet each child where they're at. We have physical, occupational, speech, feeding, We should open in July sometime. That's the goal. Just so many children waiting for us to open. And just stand in the gap. We have great facilities here in Chattanooga with other agencies, but they can't meet the needs of, 1 in 5 children have some sort of special therapy need. So it could just be mild toe walking to some extreme autism or therapy that might be pretty extensive.
Right. You also, Debbie, here you are as the development director, so you've kind of got to follow the money.
Yes.
But it sounds like your heart leads you first.
Absolutely.
So y'all have this model in place where you certainly accept insurance.
Yes.
But you try to work with people. There's a bit of a sliding scale that you bring to this.
That's exactly, so that we turn away no children. That is our mission, our goal.
Turn away no children. So we were talking off camera. I've had a journey of my own. I've been very upfront about it over the years. Both of you have children you love who've had a need for some help like this. When that is in your life, it's all you can think about. And so many of us end up, because it's usually never a go here one time and you're done kind of thing. The expense can be ongoing.
It is. It's ongoing and it's astronomical, really. Even someone that has a little, more means, the cost of therapy and going 3 times a week for just one type of therapy, maybe just for PT, and then your child maybe need 3 times a week for another. It's just, you can't do that.
Right.
That's just way too much money out of pocket. So.
It's also a hard thing. I mean, I'll get psychological on everybody here too, but if you have one child, that's difficult. If you have 2 or 3 children, then those children are feeling impacted by that financial output.
Right. And we've talked many times about the impact. If you have one of your children may have some special needs, then it does impact the whole family. So hopefully we're here to stand in that gap, work with other agencies. Everybody in this community has been working together with Debbie to bring special kids here. So we're pretty excited.
So you have been kind of at the forefront of this, talking with folks in the area. What are you hearing?
Well, first of all, we are just overwhelmingly welcomed. And I think we've met so far with over 80 nonprofits. And it is so interesting and unique, what I think, to Chattanooga. It isn't, let's stay in your lane, this is what you do. It is instead, let's all work together, let's all find a way to collaborate and lift up the whole community. So that is what we've experienced so far. Everyone has been so welcoming, like how can we collaborate later? Like what can we do to help you? Referrals, that kind of thing.
That's definitely a Chattanooga thing. Okay, so let's talk about the collaboration then at Special Kids Therapy. Because also in my experience, what can happen is you begin with one thought process of how this is going to help, but maybe it's not working properly. So many brains coming together to try to dig to figure out the answer is key. You know where I'm going with that, don't you?
So they'll come in and see the therapist, and if they need other services, we're there to help with that.
Yeah. So you, I know, feel very, very led to do this. Especially if you did it in Murfreesboro and then now you've brought it here. But does your team feel the same way?
Oh, wow.
The people you're bringing in?
Yes, the team is amazing. We have a fantastic director, Pete, and just a great support staff there. Oh, they're all so excited and feel extremely passionate about the mission.
So is the way you anticipate this working, or the way it works in Murfreesboro, on the true pediatric side of it, are pediatricians sometimes now referring their patients to you, or can people self-refer?
They cannot. They have to go through their pediatrician.
Okay.
And they can reach out to us, and then we can guide them in that process.
Okay. Is it going to be something like, let's say a child needs a surgery, and post-surgery there's going to be some therapy associated. They might come to you for that?
Exactly. That we would fit in great with that.
Okay. We're on the cusp of summer. I know you're going to hope to launch in July.
Right.
You are dealing with more physical issues, not like ADHD and that type of thing.
Not at this time.
Not
We'd
right
love
now.
to bring in behavior therapists later, but right now it's just the PT, OT, and speech.
But the summer months could be a great time to maximize on that schedule, right?
Right. Get in there and get seen, and let's go ahead and start with changing some lives.
If, since you're not opening until July, should people still try to reach out to you to kind of get on the books?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes?
Yes, definitely. They can reach out through Special Kids Chattanooga, the Facebook page. We now have a Facebook page.
Okay.
So, and then, the community support. We are still trying to get some equipment and things like that, because we are a nonprofit.
Sure.
And we do take children sometimes without the ability to pay.
So what you're saying delicately is if you believe in this mission and you'd like to support them in their efforts, they would certainly welcome that conversation as well.
Yes.
So you can call them if you want to, 591-7600, specialkidschat.com. It's going to be where you'll find them here in town, and watch for them to cut that ribbon and welcome you in July.
Thank you, Julie.
Thank you so much.
Summer is for camp at Reflection Riding. Our campers discover nature and wildlife with new friends, exploring a forest full of fun for ages 5 to 13. Make this summer your child's wildest adventure yet. Scan the QR code now to sign up.
Cod-Rite Tree Service provides no impact removal, trimming, and maintenance, which protects your property and landscaping. Fully licensed and insured with over 20 years experience in the Chattanooga area. Call Cod-Rite for a free estimate for all your tree care needs.
Stanley lost 10 years to ED. Shame hunched him over. Online pills just gave him a headache. He thought it was over. Chattanooga Men's Clinic said no. With ED and performance treatments others only dream about, we fight like hell to get you back in the saddle. Dial 423-402-9720 or go to ChattanoogaMen'sClinic.com. Your consultation includes blood work with results before you leave. Chattanooga Men's Clinic, making it happen.
You've got to be prepared for anything. For dips, banks, anything that comes your way.
Let's go, let's go, let's ride!
Because the only way you're getting through this is together.
1, 2...
Okay, enough! Get your stuff, let's go.
Yay!
The all-new Raptors Rage at Soaking Mountain Water Park, Summer 2025.
We restore pool decks, decorative concrete, resealing color, or adding something brand new. Concrete repair specialist fixes it fast and fixes it right. Call now to schedule an estimate. With service this good, you won't forget us.
The St. Jude Dream Home is nearing completion. That means it's time to get your ticket. If you reserve your ticket before May 31st, you'll also get a chance to win $3,500 in prizes. So call or reserve online now.
So let's talk real estate a little bit this morning. Grace Frank is back on the show, and have you figured this out yet? Grace does not like to come by herself.
No, I don't.
You have too many people who you want to highlight and showcase. So you have brought with you Laurel Wagner, who is with the Grace Frank Group, but she's your kind of staging expert. Is that right?
She's actually, yes, she actually has a degree in it. And there's a lot of psychology that goes into it.
So we've been having this conversation off camera, and I want to touch on that part of it, Laurel, because I would imagine that when you go in to stage a home, you really have to take a good look at the bones of the house to know how to kind of bring out its character. Is that it?
We do. We focus on the architecture of the home and the spaces. I can do, and I do anything as little as decluttering a home to make the space more seem larger. And then I can go into, I do paint colors. Paint can do a world of difference. I've also done, with some clients, I have done countertops and cabinetry and light fixtures. So it can run the gamut from going in and decluttering, which is very important when you're trying to sell a home. But the psychological staging really focuses on the science of the virtual perception and also the emotional attachment that a buyer has to the home.
Okay, so, and that's going to somewhat, I'm sure there's a formula to it, but then some of it's going to be dependent on who comes and walks through the house, right?
Well, and the property itself.
Right.
Where it's at, the type of property it is.
Right. Sure, because if you're selling a historic home in Fort Wood, that's going to attract probably a different buyer than a brand new construction somewhere else, right? They're looking for different things.
Exactly.
But how much of it for you, Grace, is the relationship conversation? Because when people come to list their home with you, you can't look, I guess, just at the home. You've got to kind of know the seller too, to know what their comfort level is going to be. And if they have 3 kids and 2 dogs, how quickly can they clean up and get out of the house for a
Right.
showing?
So yeah, it's a little complicated. I mean, and everybody has a little bit different opinion about staging. Some it's just if they're living there, that's different than if it's a vacant house. And so those are two different kind of complex processes, whether it's a vacant house and you're trying to make it feel lived in, or if it's a real lived in house and you're trying to make it look less confusing.
Right.
And so people like to not be real personable, but at the same time you want to understand the personality of the house as well. So it's a real fine line. That's why I'm not a stager. I know what I do best, and I'm a good marketer of the property, a good negotiator. So I always bring in the professionals to do the staging. And I've had recently a client ask me, well, am I going to get my money back? And I'm like, typically, yes. Because if a house is staged, it's going to sell faster.
Right.
And typically for more money because it feels better.
Right. So do you, when you come into stage, Laurel, do you sometimes or often use the pieces that the home seller already has there?
Yes, I prefer to do that. I can bring in other furniture, but I prefer to use what the seller already has. And touching on what Grace said, the average person will spend roughly around $2,700 on home expenses per month. So to pay a staging fee is minimal compared to what they're going to be spending per month. And if I have a 98% success rate of the home being under contract within the first 23 days of listing, if they follow my plan.
Wow. Okay, that bears repeating. In 23 days, a 97% success rate
98%.
if they adhere
Exactly.
to your plan.
Exactly.
So do you meet with them and kind of give them your recommendation then of what to stage, or do sometimes they say, you know what, just do it, we'll be back at 5?
I've had both, and I've had people, I've one client with Grace that it was their mother's home, and they were very apprehensive to do anything, to change anything, because that's the way that they grew up. But to sell a home is completely different than how you live in a home.
We were talking a little bit about how there are trends in homes, and so some people still love the open concept plan. Some people are going more towards the individual rooms. You, though, do enjoy trying to create feeling when you stage a home.
Absolutely, absolutely. We did a wonderful home that was about 100 years old, and we did little vignettes, and so we did a little reading nook, and they had this massive closet, and we turned it into a playroom. So the bedroom could be like a teenager room or a nanny room with the little playroom right connected to it. So we just did little vignettes, and it was fun to do.
How often do you have a home seller say, oh, now that we see it this way, let's take it off the market?
I have had that happen before.
I can see that. Or a wife says to her husband, see, I told you we should have moved that chair, right? So your team, I got to let you run, but your team at Grace Frank is just that. You've got a whole team of people.
Oh, absolutely.
Start to finish.
Correct. Yep. We're very focused on customer service and high quality and concierge service, which is very important to make sure that every step of the way clients are taken care of and they have 5-star service.
Yeah, we kind of have referenced you as a boutique experience.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
here is where you will find her and Laurel and the whole team at the Grace Frank Group. They're on Georgia Avenue in downtown Chattanooga. 544-7156 is the phone number. And then there is the website. Grace is the master marketer, and she is very smart to bring this wonderful team together. Thank you both.
Thank you.
Thank you.
With McValue at McDonald's, you'll get deals on breakfast, which comes in handy when you've got the whole family in town.
Get more out of your morning with any size iced coffee for only $1. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
You look like a superstar up there. I know America, they always get it right.
The Voice finale live tonight on NBC and Peacock.
Wow.
Where the X are we? That is for me to know and them to find out. This ought to be fun.
Destination X, next Tuesday on NBC and Peacock.
Now's the best time to transform your outdoor living space with Champion.
You can screen your existing porch, or enclose it with glass, or cover that patio, or even add a full sunroom to make the outdoors a bit more comfortable. There are so many possibilities.
Right now, save 30% off your new outdoor living space. Scan the QR code to see which style is right for your home.
Let's get cooking. Summer's coming soon.
Call 888-4CHAMPION or schedule your free in-home estimate online today.
Here you go. Twins.
Insurance for, are there twins anywhere on your side of the family?
We found out we are having twins.
Tennesseans know that sometimes life has its little surprises. But no matter what comes your way, know that Farm Bureau Insurance is there to help. Farm Bureau Insurance of Tennessee. Tennessee Insurance for Tennessee Life.
If something's missing in your morning without a McDonald's breakfast, then try our bagel sandwiches. With fluffy egg, melty cheese, and your choice of a steak patty with grilled onion, or bacon, or sausage, well, those will fill the void deliciously. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Well, that's going to wrap up the show for today. A couple of things to point out to you, though, before I let you run and enjoy the beautiful sunshine that's outside right now. Number one, don't forget that we've got those storms coming in. It is a severe alert weather day, so please be sure that you're weather aware, ready for the storms that might be coming our way, and of course, keep it right here on Local 3 News throughout the day and of course into the evening as well. Also want to let you know that the tickets for the St. Jude Dream Home giveaway are on sale at dreamhome.org. You can always learn more, but if you buy your ticket before May 31st, look what you could win, $3,500 to improve your own home. We'll see you tomorrow.
All property owners are responsible for ensuring their property